Jennifer Guyton, and I'd like to welcome you here to bring to life a powerful story called A Raisin in the Sun. I'd like to talk about a few very important points that is brought out in this story. For example, the importance of family and togetherness, the importance of having patience through trying times, like what you'll hear about with Ruth, and the importance of also having patience while setting goals and realizing that sometimes we have to wait and that there is a time when those goals are ready to be met. A story that includes an African American woman named Ruth and a little bit about her and the type of life she lived. She is with her family during difficult times in a difficult world, sometime between World War II to the present. Ruth is portrayed as a strong 30-year-old female, a mom of a 12-year-old boy, Travis, and a wife to her husband, Walter, living in a little run-down apartment home in Chicago with Walter's mom they call Mama and Walter's sister, Benitha. This is a home that this family has lived in for so many years with so many memories made. The furniture is old and worn with the old worn-out walls of the home, but they live day to day and paycheck to paycheck to make life happen. They share a very tight space within the apartment, with Mama and Benitha sharing a room. Ruth tucks Travis in at night as he sleeps on a couch bed in the living room. Ruth and Walter have a room on the other side of the house. Ruth is a hard worker, a good mom, and a good wife who also cares for her mother and sister-in-law, including them as a big part of their family home. There is a great respect there, and communication comes quite easy, it seems. Ruth, however, is tired, weary, and worn down. She is a hard worker when it comes to her family. The financial struggles are clearly evident. Ruth and her husband argue, and Ruth says in Act 1, Scene 1, "Walter, leave me alone. Eat your eggs, they're gonna be cold." Walter isn't always the nicest to Ruth. At times, it makes you wonder if he's being a bit sarcastic and funny or truly mocking Ruth as a person. Walter says in Act 1, Scene 1, "Just for a second, stirring them eggs. It's gone now. Just for a second it was. You look real young again. It's gone now. You look like yourself again." Once again, Ruth replies, "Man, if you don't shut up and leave me alone." This is the type of life Ruth lives. Ruth's husband makes some mistakes along the way that interferes with the family and with their marriage and wears her down as she continues to be patient and loving through it all. She has a lot of support from Mama as they're close. Ruth discovers she's with child at a rough time in life and no space in the home they live in. Ruth becomes very appreciative and excited when Mama takes things into her own hands and decides to use her late husband's inheritance money to buy a new home spacey enough for their family to live in. Ruth is overjoyed and beyond thankful. Her husband knows the extra space is needed, but had been planning on opening a business with his portion of inheritance. He is angry and bitter as he wants something different done with the inheritance, and things don't go his way. He becomes bitter towards Ruth and Mama, but throughout this time, lessons are learned. Ruth saw that he realized that this dream that he had about the business would have to wait, and that it's just not the right time. Ruth prepares her home as they get ready to move, and as they are, they discover that the new neighborhood is opposed to African American people, and Ruth and her family are brokenhearted, hurt, and angry when they discovered that they aren't wanted there. They decide to do what's right and stand strong and make it their home despite that. Throughout many trying times, the family learned that togetherness is what mattered. Their heritage mattered, and the things that are done in front of our children matters. Although it wasn't easy, Ruth was patient through it all. A Raisin in the Sun exposes many aspects of life and makes you stop and think. Goals are extremely important in life, and there is a time for those goals to be achieved. However, above all else, togetherness with family and believing in each other, fighting for what is right comes first and can align your goals the way they need to. Life should be easier at times, but if a lot of us can be more like Ruth and stand strong and patient through trying times, we can come out a lot better and stronger than we ever were. Thank you for tuning into my podcast about a raisin in the sun and Ruth's life.